Welcome to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank that brings you market views and insights on the go.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Cut to the Chase. Today is Monday the 13th of July and I'm Steve Brice. We are in the middle of our semi-annual Global Market Outlook Roadshows, which we conduct across Asia, Africa and the Middle East. I always look forward to these as it gives us a chance to interact with a large number of clients, share our views and then answer their questions. Now, one question that has come up a few times has been, what am I most worried about? In the moment, I've answered that I see increasing greed or fear of missing out, and this can often occur close to market peaks. However, on reflection, most investors are actually not positioned as if they are greedy. So how can I reconcile these two statements? Well, while a lot of investors are chasing narrow parts of the markets higher, such as semiconductor stocks, the same investors are often underinvested in terms of having excess cash, often to the tune of 30 to 40%. The first signals greed, the second fear. So how should we think about this? Well, in theory, there are two things that you should have cash for. First, to cover unexpected expenses or loss of income. And a typical rule of thumb here is to have around 6 months of fixed, non-negotiable expenses. The second is money on the sidelines to deploy in case markets weaken. At the moment, we suggest having around 3% of cash for this, but up to 10% to manage your way through the market's ebbs and flows seems acceptable to me. Why? Well, when markets are weak, there's a strong temptation to do something. And I would prefer that to be investing more as markets go on sale than selling investments after they have fallen. And having more cash on the sidelines makes this easier to achieve. So what should you do? Well, the first is to step back, ignore what's going on in markets today and put together a plan. First, calculate the value of your deposits, subtract 6 months of non-negotiable expenses, and then calculate what this adjusted cash position is as a percentage of your investments. If this is over 10%, then you should formulate a plan to invest the excess. My preference is to invest this on a schedule over the next 6 to 18 months into a diversified foundation portfolio, which is across equities, bonds, gold, and other alternative investments. But if this is boring to you, then splitting at least 70% into that foundation portfolio and then up to 30% in more dynamic and risky investments, then that might be a good approach. Assuming the foundation portfolio is truly diversified and in line with your risk tolerance, then you don't need to worry about this. You just need to keep investing in it over time, every month. However, the latter, the more dynamic and risky investments, this needs active management. So keep an eye on it to ensure that things are going according to plan. As we woke up this morning, there was news that the conflict in the Middle East is escalating again. Nobody knows exactly how this is going to play out. Not Trump, not the Iranian leadership, nor you and I. However, we can have very high confidence that over the next 5 to 10 years, a diversified portfolio will do well. Therefore, when Sandeep, our CIO for equities, and I were asked for 2 words we wanted clients to take away from a session in Singapore, we said, 1, stay invested, and 2, buy dips. I still believe this is the best advice we can give for investors to achieve their financial goals. Thank you for listening today. Wishing you a great week ahead, and I look forward to chatting to you again soon.
Thank you for listening to Standard Chartered Money Insights, a podcast series by Standard Chartered Bank. For more details, visit Market Views on the Go on our website or click the link in the description.